What's up, Genshin YouTube? This is Bench Gamer again. So today I want to check back on something that I was kind of regretting last time, which is that I kind of put Ayato too much near the place that I was putting Yai, which I didn't intend to do. Which is that I didn't intend to say that Ayato was anywhere near the kind of brokenness or dissatisfaction that I had with Yai. Because one, most importantly, I don't have Ayato. Two, he seems to be doing alright in the revenue game from MiHoYo. On the first day of revenue for the Genshin iOS revenue market in China, he was the third most profitable banner of all time. Now, people who were talking about this may have announced it kind of prematurely because over the days he kind of fell off. If you look at it closely, yeah, so on the first day he was the third most profitable banner, but by the third day he had fallen to the fifth place, and by the sixth day he had fallen to the sixth place. Yeah, so currently he is the sixth most profitable banner in China. Now, that doesn't mean he is completely unprofitable because he is definitely within the upper half of profitable banners. And if you look at the Japanese market, he is in fact the most profitable banner of all time in Japan, beating out Hu Tao, beating out the double John Lee and Ganyu banner. While this may be due to his voice actor, we can also suspect that Venti is pretty popular as a character, even though he has kind of fallen off the meta playstyle. But we know that in Japan, the meta stuff and is not that big of a deal. They mostly pull for the characters that they like, lore wise and aesthetic wise, and most of all, voice actors, right? There's this whole entire industry in Japan that is way bigger in terms of popular culture than over here in the West or in China. So make of it what you will. No matter what we say about Genshin Impact falling off or declining, let's be honest. In terms of revenue, this is pretty much like we don't even need to talk about it. It's just still one of the most profitable games of all time. Even if you decide that, even if you just speculate or analyze it to the degree that you think it is falling off or the players are declining, it's still in a way better place than like 99.99999% of all games in the history of humankind. It's just that profitable. They're making like hundreds of $1 million every single month. On another note, I do think I haven't seen anybody talking about this, but the Serenity Pot has been put on pretty much indefinite maintenance. If you look at here, whoa, rip. The Genshin Collective saying, whoa, rip all the Serenity Pot gamers out there, all like 12 of them. So maintenance is apparently going to take weeks because MiHoYo has announced that they are going to give us 5,000 teapot currency every single week during the maintenance period, which suggests that it's going to take more than 1 week. And one of the main reasons, in fact, the main reason for this is probably that, well, Hoyoverse is in lockdown right now because of a COVID outbreak in Shanghai. COVID is having a resurgence in China. They're getting like 15,000 cases every single day now. So one of the main places where this is taking place is in Shanghai. Some other places in China are still okay, like Guangdong in the south or in Beijing in the north, but not Shanghai. Shanghai is pretty much fucked. They are in full lockdown. Nobody can get out of their houses. This isn't like a lockdown in the West. It's not like you can't sit within 2 seats near me at the restaurant, or you can't go have dinner at like I don't know, China buffet in past 5 p.m. That's not a lockdown. What they're having in China is a real lockdown. You just can't get out of your house, and you have to have your food delivered to you. So that probably applies to MiHoYo as well, because they are stationed or headquartered in Shanghai. I know that there has been a lot of talk about them moving their headquarters or whatever to Singapore or to the West, but let's be real, the game is still produced in China and made for the Chinese market most of all, so it's not like they're just going to quit that place altogether. Honestly, that whole discussion was really weird because even if they did move their headquarters to Singapore, their most profitable region is China, so they're still going to have a lot of like they're still going to have to deal with the censorship. That was pretty much the argument that people were making in the past, that they were going to escape China to like cater to other regions, but China is their number one most profitable market. What would they do without like the Chinese money? So that whole thing was really weird and a bit copium in my honest opinion. Anyways, on to further news. Well, Unreal Engine just did this like showcase of the state of it right now, and one of the things that they showed was that was this infographic in this info pic of all the companies that are working on it. And if you notice, a lot of not only like Western companies, but a lot of Chinese companies like Wanmei Shijie Yoshi, Perfect World Games, and Arcosaur Games, and Tencent is also there somewhere. Tencent Games, yeah. So a bunch of Chinese companies are now working on Unreal Engine 5, which could mean that they're working on games. They could be making demos. I don't know what it is they're doing, but most interestingly, if you look over here, Hoyoverse is there. So in the past, I've talked about Hoyoverse making billions of dollars, but they're not putting all of that money back into Genshin Impact, right? They're still making Honkai Impact. They are currently making Honkai Star Rail. So they definitely have more project in store. And I think Honkai Star Rail Impact, I don't know what the exact name of it is, but they were making it before Genshin Impact was released, right? So this was even before Hoyoverse got really big. So now that they're even bigger, you can expect them to make, I don't know what it is, but I seriously doubt they're putting all of their money back into Genshin Impact. They're going to make other games, and one of those projects is probably going to be a high-tech game, which I am quite happy about because Unreal Engine 5 looks amazing. So this is just Daniel Ahmad, who works in the industry, reporting on most like East Asian markets, the China, India, Middle East, North Africa, and Asia market. He's pretty much like the go-to source for this type of info. So Tencent Games, MiHoYo, Arcosaur Games, Perfect World, and Game Science are all just some of the Chinese game devs confirmed to be working on Unreal Engine 5 games. I am super stoked for this. I think, wasn't there like a tech demo about a game based on Wukong that was coming out of China a while ago? I watched that demo trailer and honestly, I thought it was a bit jank. The graphics were good, but it just seemed like a generic beat 'em up action side scroller, not side scroller, but action corridor. You know what I mean. You just go down one lane and you beat the shit out of everything. It didn't look all that different from Devil May Cry to me, and honestly, the combat looked worse. So I wasn't too excited about that. Most people were geeking out to the graphics, and I think that is what is the biggest difference when it comes to like Unreal Engine 5 games versus previous games. It just looks a whole lot better. So this probably isn't going to be like this isn't going to directly impact Genshin Impact, but we do know now that they are working on stuff that is not Genshin Impact, unless they somehow transfer the entire game on PC over to Unreal 5 engine, which is even bigger gopium than the Genshin Impact, like the MiHoYo going out of China. So there you have it. That's the most recent news I've been reading about. Hoyoverse is on lockdown. They're making other stuff other than Genshin Impact, which we already knew about, but now it's confirmed. Unless this Unreal Engine 5 announcement is about Genshin Impact. So yeah, there you have it. Ayato's not doing that bad either. See you guys later. This is Benchmarks signing out.